this bump. That was 6 months or 12 months of the pandemic, and they doubled. They literally doubled their money within 12 months.
is all about experience. It's to feel the adrenaline running through our veins. Like all the things we do that excite us.
Sorry, what was the question?
Living. There are people that are born to succeed. They're called special. To hustle every day for an opportunity of a lifetime. Looking for the challenge to shape our future.
No, I was just listening. I do apologize.
It's something that's in our DNA.
So what was it?
A privilege just available for a few. Traders, we see things differently.
I just got lost because
paying attention to every small detail that would maybe go unnoticed by the common eye. On or by the edge is our playground. With a constant strive for glory. Seeking for a new tomorrow.
That's true.
Do you feel special?
And if you ask them about and if you ask them about what's your opinion about the recent interest rate increase and the current monetary policy and offloading of balance sheet, they're going to block you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because I believe where most of the people in economics who try to trade or understand it's because economics is situation specific. If you had the same economic data like in 2008 now, now, and the situation is like 2008, meaning that Federal Reserve is neutral, you would make all-time highs. You would have low unemployment rate. You would have good, let's say, good GDP numbers. But the main fundamental factor why the market is falling is because of the Fed. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Yeah, the Fed is actually pushing the aggregate demand curve to the left, pushing the price
Absolutely.
down.
Aggregate demand curve. Wow. Is it probably the first person who mentions in the group the aggregate demand curve? Wow, I'm gonna cry. I did try to start the economic lessons, and the first lesson was actually talking about the wage rates. And the first lesson was the supply and demand curve, the aggregate demand curve. So that was the very first thing I tried to introduce in the economic sessions.
Yeah, I remember.
Actually, I feel we are so lucky. To be honest, we have Thomas and now we have Ivan. So just in case Thomas is not.
Exactly, I have someone to cover me.
At least we have someone. Yeah. So.
Someone has found his protege.
Yeah.
Daddy duties take precedence, then there's someone to replace.
And I think if Ivan keep just joining the morning briefings, so he slowly, I think he will also copy the style of Thomas, what he doing more and where he start and what exactly, which points he focus more. So that will be perfect for us actually.
Also, we are waiting for the second lesson actually.
I couldn't hear you.
We are also, I will talk about myself, waiting for the second lesson.
What lesson?
Economics.
I don't understand.
Are you going to do again another lesson of
Excuse me?
economics with us?
I can't hear you, Sophie.
We're not hearing you well.
Hello. Hello. Oh shit, where's the mute button?
What? No, but
Sophie, Thomas will send you a book, one of this book from his shelf, 1,000 page.
oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's actually those who studied economics, maybe you understand that it's not easy to translate the hardcore economics what I studied at university just at the basic level. It's difficult because where do you start? I studied 4.5 years bachelor and masters, and you know, putting just the foundation degree, the bachelor's, putting 3 years into 30-minute lectures, it's really tough.
Yes, because even with you translating all that, but the informations are hard to digest, and yeah, that's why I'm asking for something else.
I think sometimes better if you want to really to digest the information, maybe better to read it in your mother tongue. So, I mean, if you are like speaking like me, Arabic or Farsi or any other language.
If I read it Arabic, I won't understand
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, but for us maybe it's easier actually. So when listening to like Arabic economist guy, maybe it's easier to grab this information. But to be honest, still, if you read it from like these good books, so yeah, English books, it's better. But I think if you want very like a very good and good basics, it's better to learn it with then you can start listening and understanding.
Okay, and many of the books, the mother tongue books, they even, some of them I saw that they put the English version next to it, which would be ideal. And by the way, looking at gold, it's really massaging the weekly pivot, which is extremely strong. So hence, I'm still holding a small sell. Stop loss is just where the bracket is, above the previous high. Chances are very high the price is going to spill over, because we have left with a massive imbalance from that sell-off on Wednesday on FOMC that we catched, by the way. But I would be crazy not to try the pivot, because so far we had huge success with daily pivots, and with weekly pivot is even stronger. So sells all the way. But this is not financial advice, as you know, because anything is possible on NFP day, which is not my favorite day to trade. Oh, look at that. The daily pivot is down here at 1630, and the weekly is at 1652. That's very cheeky.
Thomas, can I ask a question?
You can ask 2 questions.
All right, just one. Actually, I see you're trading gold, and but anyway, I'm trading GBP USD most likely as well. I just wanted to pick your brain what you think about GBP USD. What's your bias for the long term? What's going to happen with the pound?
GBP USD. The problem with GBP USD, obviously, if we start with the macroeconomics, and if you look at the interest rate differential between the 2 countries. So when you trade currencies of 2 countries, you look at the economics of 2 countries. So the first thing where I would look is the fixed income market and the yields that they're offering. And if you look at the yields between Great Britain, this is the short end of the yield curve, so the 3-year gilt. And by the way, it's called gilt in the UK, not bond, because back in the days the edges were gilted with golden, and they like traditional things. So the interest rate on the short end in United Kingdom is 3.1%. The US short end is 4.7%. Massive interest rate differential. If you have 2 investment, Tomasz, one of them offering you 4.7% return, and the other one is offering you 3.1% return, which one would you choose as an investor?
Of course, the higher. Yeah.
The higher return. So if the US is offering investors and traders higher return on, relatively short maturity or little maturity papers on the money market, then of course investors are going to buy it. But if even the UK traders would choose the better investment, the higher return, so they need to exchange the sterling to dollar. Europe, the same, need to exchange Europe to dollar. Hong Kong is the same. So there's going to be a huge demand for US dollar, because these assets in the US are denominated in US dollars. So that's going to cause a rally in the US dollar. If you go back to the example in the GBP USD, now if you know that they're offering higher returns, so GBP USD should go down in theory, right? Because the dollar is going to strengthen.
Yeah.
The only flaw with this is, if you look at, by the way, I think it looks good for short, but also we have an imbalance here. And if you look at what happened recently in the UK with Liz Truss, do you know Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwartenghi?
Yeah, I'm aware.
So Kwasi Kwartenghi announced a huge tax cut in the middle of the central bank of England was trying to reduce the balance sheet, the money that's circulating in the economy, and out of nowhere, Liz Truss won the election with some false promises that they're going to reduce taxes, and they announced a tax cut, £45 billion, unfinanced. Of course, the whole market jumped on it because that was just crazy. That goes everything against what the central bank of England is doing. Hence the pound crashed, and they also almost crashed the whole private pension fund industry because many of the assets, derivatives tied to the government bonds. So as they announced in the UK, the yields shoot up and triggered a lot of put options or call options, and also stop losses. They almost crashed the whole pension fund industry. And, you know, since that, in the last couple of weeks, we had a new prime minister. Last couple of months, we had a new king. We have a new finance minister in the UK. And they're still trying to fix the damage that these two individuals caused. In my opinion, the UK is just too risky to trade now because there's a lot of question marks around it, that how Rishi Sunak is going to navigate this, I wouldn't say sinking ship. For me, it's quite risky, but in my opinion, if you just look at the big picture, if you look at the interest rate differential between the US and the UK, it's a no-brainer that the dollar should strengthen further. Whether it's going to be the case, I don't know. Technical-wise, it's under the pivot, it's looking good for a sell, but again, we have an imbalance which is caused by the FOMC 2 days ago.
Thank you very much. It was very excessive. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Can't believe that Raul is missing out on NFP day. But luckily we have Ivan, a new economist in-house.
Unfortunately, civil engineers won't help you a lot.
I think recently I have more trust in US 30 than in gold. The structure is much nicer. Recently, it's more reactive to news than gold because of the geopolitical tensions and uncertainties in globally. I think gold is more reactive to also political events, that such as the things that you mentioned, guys, in the morning briefings. And someone just said on YouTube, Heinz Smith, what is this? Triple Your Knowledge Friday. Yes. Today is NFP. Not going to rush into any trades. I'm on the sell side with my colleagues, but also we have a massive imbalance which was left by our beloved Jay Powell. So, you know, it's going to be less than 0.5% risk, but on the sell side. But we have a risk that during NFP we're going to have the same kind of scenario that we had on Wednesday, which was buy the news and sell the fact. So today, approach with caution, guys. And we have 22 minutes until NFP.
Yeah, very tiny lot, just not to miss it. But
so, Thomas, when in the morning briefing you mentioned about the last few NFP.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And we lost the questioner.
Yeah, but if you look at the US 30, Thomas, it's making lower highs and higher highs, and it already broke the structure. And
on a lower time frame, I guess.
Yeah, on 15 minutes, and then there is a potential, as you said, also same as gold, to fill the imbalance.
That's my main issue, is the imbalance that was left on the market is going to, it's messing up algorithms, it's messing up so many things, even traders' minds, because if you look at the higher time frame, there's a massive wick to be filled, and it is an invitation for manipulation and speculation. And all this morning, gold and US 30 is edging a little bit higher. So my opinion that today gold is, chances are good, is going to fill out this area right here and then pull back immediately. But also, if the NFP is again better than expected, that's going to be very inflationary for the economy, and then we have the chance that gold is just simply going to melt. Same with US 30. So that's why I entered with a small lot, just to calm my nerves, and not to miss the trade. But I'm not risking anything more than 0.5%. Because it's so much uncertainty in the market, and it's this massive wick, it's an invitation for manipulation. It's like asking you to pull down your trousers and bend over on the table.
Nice analogy.
Exactly, you know how gold and US 30 is even dirtier. Random is asking, brother Thomas, how many trades do you take in one day? 1 million. Not many. Like today, I'm literally 1 or 2 trades, but that's it. We made money Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't want to screw up my P&L just because of one NFP, which is overhyped.
Yeah, sometimes, so many times it happened, like yesterday on gold. You go with a very small lot, as long as you're on the right direction. Even if it's a tiny lot, you'll make money. So in case it bounce back and hit your stop loss, it won't affect you psychologically and monetarily.
Exactly, and you learn from your mistake.
Exactly. And always look at the higher time frames. It's always providing you with the proper direction of the market.
And I have to be honest, like, we make more money outside NFP.
Yeah.
Like, CPI is the easiest data to trade. The easiest. It's easy. It's like free money, which is next week. So instead of, I want some subscribers on the YouTube channel, and I want to chat with you, otherwise I will be bored. So yeah, we stream it, we trade it, but only with tiny lots, and the big money what we make is going to be on CPI day. Much easier to trade, more common sense, and it's better. It looks like exactly gold is falling.
Triple your money next week.
Triple your money, brother.
Yeah, and it's working. It's respecting the Raul's pivot.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Don.
Morning.
What's up?
How are you? I'm expecting the dirty move, Thomas, draw on USD on gold.
Yeah,
it's...
Don't stop, guys.
Okay,
like
so we have...
shoot up and then boom, down.
Yeah, it's going to slap you in the face, kick you in the nuts, and then run away, and then come back. Quickly, just shout out, request. We have almost 700 people watching the stream, and we have only 145 likes, so that's not a very good ratio. Can we do something about it, guys, on YouTube? I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Come on. Because on the morning briefing, you mentioned about the last NFP is almost, there is almost all with us there when the news come up.
Yeah, so, every single time.
Better.
Right, I'm listening, Chip.
Yeah, so I better wait for the dirty move. If it's if there's no dirty move, it's okay. I won't trade anyway. But if there is a dirty move, is maybe we'll entry with small lots.
Yeah, you know the slap is coming, but you know we still enter into trade just with small lot. But again, this is not normal market conditions, because on Wednesday we had Jay Powell left this massive imbalance on the market, and it's an invitation for manipulation. But on the other hand, I would be crazy not to trade the weekly pivot, because that's been resulted so far with very good returns, and we have the monthly trend line. We have so many confirmations at this level, so only tiny lot. I have more trust in US 30 on the right hand side. Now quickly, those who just joined the stream, I expect you to hit the like now. And today we have NFP, which is the most anticipated data globally, but many traders tend to get lost focus on non-farm payrolls. The other things as well which are important to understand the labor market, such as participation rate, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, hugely important. The reason why everyone's focusing on NFP, because it accounts for about 68% of the US GDP. GDP is made up of many variables, such as exports minus imports. That gives you a net figure. Also the government spending and the investment in the economy. And the US is a consumption-based economy, hence big chunk of the cake, 68%, is actually what generates the growth in the US. If there's no consumption, there is no growth. And the US is already in a technical recession. 2 consecutive quarters they reported negative GDP growth. And the reason why everyone is watching, because if you look at the circular flow of income, if the economy is expanding, jobs are being created, they pay factor payments or wages for the households, then those wages are going to spend for goods and services in the economy, and the money circulates all around and keeps the world moving. Now, this extra money, if there's better than expected NFP reading, meaning there's more jobs have been created outside non-manufacturing, outside farming, agriculture, that means that the 80% of people who work in non-farming, that accounts for 68% of GDP, that money is going to go back, and more money is going to be circulated in the economy, and that adds further fuel, further pressure on prices, and it has an inflationary effect. Now the Fed is trying to reduce this flow of money in the economy by increasing interest rate, because that decreases the money supply. And the government can also withdraw some money instead of injecting it with increasing taxes, import expenditure, etc. So today, if the number is better than expected, that means that we have inflation, fuel to the fire on inflation. So that is the macroeconomic part, or the economics part, which I think it makes sense, make logic. Maybe you think otherwise, leave a comment in the chat below. But also we had a major imbalance left on the market by Jay Powell on the FOMC meeting. So this imbalance and this massive wick, that just shouts manipulation to me. But on the other hand, if I use my brain and logic and experience in economics, that it's a no-brainer that it's going to be a sell. So best thing to do, because usually on NFP, price is always, not always, but many times, it's either spiking up and then completely melts, or just melts immediately. In this economic climate, look back the previous 6 occasions, this is what happened. So I have 2 selling points, which is the current price level, hence I'm selling, but also at a higher price level, which could be good for short. We don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. So we're just going to observe. If you're not feeling confident, or you excited, which is not good on NFP, just observe the market, listen to the stream, grab a tea, beer, coffee, anything you want, and just enjoy.
I think I'm gonna book some profits on US 30.
80 pips.
You're gonna book it?
Yeah, I'm gonna book and protect. But not all. I'm gonna book like 50%.
If we have the you know, there's two scenarios: either melt, a pump up, and a melt. So we don't know whether it's going to be buy the news and sell effect or immediately melting, because we have no idea about the number. So the best thing, which I always do, is choose one. You draw up all the scenarios, choose one. If it fails, you still have other options which you are worked out already. So stick to the plan. That's the most important. If it fails, then fine tune based on the outcome, based on the data. And ladies and gentlemen, we have 9 minutes until the labor market data print.
Thomas, I noticed you always watch the 1 hour time frame. Is there a reason? Like you keep your charts on the 1 hour?
Is there a reason why I'm wearing my watch on the left hand? I don't know. I just like it.
Like, I'm just trying to understand your point of view.
It's easier to see previous structure. I mean, everybody just has personal preferences. Thomas, I have a question. Do you think that we could break the 16, 18 next week with CPI?
If it's, you know, it depends on what is the data going to be. Is it going to be more than expected? I don't know. If
well,
inflation
assuming
is
that the data is bearish, like, do you think that we would?
Oh yeah, easily.
Just
But
'cause
even today,
reason
we could break 1680.
Okay. Only reason I asked is just because it's been a pretty strong level for the last 3 months now. So just curious on your thoughts. Thank you.
Anything is possible, brother.
Lines are made to be broken.
9 minutes to go.
Ooh la la.
It's the final countdown. So either we're heading to Venus
Or penis.
Nice one, yeah.
Venus or penis?
Hope we head for that Venus.
Let's shoot to Venus and then rain the penis.
So on gold, I'm not confident because we had that massive imbalance and the market still hasn't broke market structure. So go easy with the sells. I reduced the position already. I'm gonna cut more position. So don't go crazy.
My USD Swiss franc is falling. Just I need to say that.
Which means gold is gonna go up.
And Euro AUD is falling, means DXY is going down as well, because there is correlation between Euro AUD and DXY. And Euro AUD has been falling since the morning time, and gold is going up as well. So I think it's going to continue because the indicators and the signs on the Euro AUD and the Swiss franc points down. Of course, back to your theory, everything's possible. But I just want to mention this.
Yeah, which you know, often Very good. We have two possible sell levels, which is the current weekly pivot, or if price comes up. We have a massive imbalance, so we don't know what the number is. We don't know how the market is going to react.
Yeah, but the imbalance doesn't have to be filled now.
No, it can be filled later.
Yeah, they might come back to it later. I think it's if it's gonna drop, they're gonna use the news as a catalyst to drop it. Or
yeah. If you know the problem with NFP, it's overhyped. There's no long-term correlation between NFP and gold. It's been proven many times statistically, and you know, econometricians showed the regression. There's no correlation long-term between NFP and gold, but the short-term, usually, well, many times, it's either going up and then spiking up and then melts, or just melts if we have better than expected data in this interest rate environment. Again, it's the most manipulated data in trading. NFP, I think it's overhyped, but in my opinion, based on the economic analysis I just described, I think two potential options: weekly pivot or the previous high for sell. But that's the technical confirmation for my two scenarios, which is the first one, data better than expected and immediately melts. The second one, data is better than expected, then market is going to buy the news and then sell the fact. So for this reason, you know, I reduced the position and I will be looking for sells at the other high on gold.
Yeah.
If the data is better than expected.
I think it's going to be better than expected, but anything is possible. If anyone knows the data that's going to be printed, please let me know. I'm curious to find out. I think gold is going to screw everyone over, but US 30 is going to react as it should be.
Thomas, would I mean, just based off of the time that I've been trading gold, it seems that it's in general, it's just a very emotional asset.
And what's the question?
Because there, just in the time that I've been trading gold with you, it seems like after kind of learning more about fundamentals, gold is just it's a very emotional asset in the way that it reacts to the market. Like NFP has no correlation, but it still tends to move gold quite a bit.
It has some correlation, but not perfect. The correlation coefficient is not perfect. You know, it's the same as sometimes gold and US 30 moves together, sometimes the correlation breaks down. And we have 3 minutes, and I'm thirsty for water. Actually, we have 2 minutes. Fuck. I'm gonna run down for some water.
How much move you expecting, guys, on gold price, either up or down?
$1 million pips.
$50.
$1 million.
It's so hard to really say because, like,
I thought you went for before. That was.
One minute 40 seconds. We have 900 people watching the stream. Welcome everyone. I hope you're enjoying the stream. NFP is overrated, overhyped. Don't rush into trades. We had 3 winning days and 1 not so winning day. Don't rush to lose your money and the profit we made this week. Just observe the market and enjoy the conversation. And we have 1 minute and 15 seconds. 50 seconds. So on gold, I'm expecting either to drop from the current price level or do the shitty move, buy the news and sell the fact. On US 30, I'm expecting a straightforward drop, but again, we don't know what is the number. I don't have that information from Jay Powell, even though I called him. So anything is possible. Please make sure that you manage risk and don't jump into any risky trades. There's no double your money on NFP day. We have 15 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and NFP. And someone can shout at the data, please.
Holy shit.
32, 33. It's better than expected, as I told you.
Wow, very good, very good.
Make sure you lock in the profits, guys. Don't leave it on the table.
I'm locking profit now. Thank you.
Szia, be tudnád csöngetni, kérlek, mert épp dolgozok, de majd kinyitja valaki, jó?
The fuck?
Szuper vagy, köszönöm szépen. Szia, szia. Of course, the delivery guy just have to call me during NFP. Shitty moves. Again, is it going to pump back up? So this drop, ladies and gentlemen, was, 80 pips. Don't be greedy. Don't leave it on the table. Lock some profit. This is what I'm going to do now. And also, let's have a look on the other employment data. So unemployment rate 3.7%, which means that the economy, the labor market, start to loosen up. It was very tight because there was more jobs being created. Everything was taken. Unemployment was 5-decade low. If you look at non-farm payrolls, better than expected. Immediately revised up to 30,000 because it was 233. Oh no, sorry, there was a non-private. Average hourly earnings unchanged. So we have inflation, we have a shittier market, yet people get the same shitty hourly wage.
And gold touched R2 and bounced back immediately.
Yeah, manage your risk, guys. Don't leave money on the table. Anything is possible.
You mean S2?
1643.96.
This is R2 or S2?
R2. R2D2. But again, it's still holding the bullish market structure. So 80 pip, don't be greedy, guys. We managed to catch. I showed you 80 pip drop. Don't be greedy. NFP day. The market is quite shitty. So, and now it's reversing. I wonder if the weekly pivot is going to hold or not and going to fill up the wick. So NFP day is good for scalping. Now, if it breaks the weekly pivot, it comes higher. I will be looking for more sells if it fills the wick. Now the data, I think all the traders are now observing what the market is going to be. Are you guys still holding any sells, or did you lock in profit as I mentioned?
Yeah, I locked most of it.
Yeah, I locked profit already.
I exited everything.
Okay.
I moved to break even on US 30, but I'm still holding the R3 on gold.
So who made money today?
Me.
Who's
Yeah,
Mimi?
Me too.
Me.
I promised myself I'm not going to do any new positions, but I entered the
Me
sell on
too.
gold as soon as it spiked down. I immediately closed it.
Yeah. If you look at the market structure, still holding the bullish, the intraday bullish market structure, because long term, if you look at the chart, it's clearly bearish. And after Jay Powell left this massive imbalance on the market, but nothing has changed. The Fed is still hawkish, which is quite bearish for stocks and gold, and we had a high reading, so better than expected non-farm payrolls, meaning that more people are entering into the economy, more people are getting paid by the companies, and that money is going to circulate in the economy. You can see the circle flow of income on the chart or on the screen, and that money has inflationary effect in the economy, which is the Fed trying to reduce with increasing interest rate and also reducing the balance sheet, which is currently at all-time high of $9 trillion. That doubled up during the pandemic, so a lot of problem. Next we're going to have CPI, which is going to be the prime day for me of the month. And almost 1,000 people watching the stream, yet 368 likes. Unfortunately, guys, if you want to carry on with this stream, please hit the like button and show some appreciation for the work I do.
I think they already start pushing likes because gold started to go up. As we spoken before, the more they push likes, the more correlation happens.
Indeed.
Is the likes getting up now?
A little bit.
Yeah. Guys, push it more. We need to reach the top part of gold and sell it from there, please.
Ghoulie FX is asking YouTube, did someone blow their account? Hope not. I mean, on NFP, if anyone trades big lots on NFP, it has to be... I have no sympathy.
Oh,
the market is...
The dirty move is coming.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to fill up the wick, and then it's going to drop. But
yes.
Come on, guys. We catched. I showed you. We sold here. It's almost 100 pip drop. If you didn't lock profit, I have no sympathy. And now prepare. And let's see how.
Venus.
Now here comes the penis, and then prepare for the Venus.
Venus. Now it's Venus time. Venus
now it's Venus. Done. Yeah.
Venus, okay. Venus, then Venus back.
Okay. I'm holding my trigger for the cells.
I'm holding my Venus.
So now that's been invalidated. Now US 30 took positions earlier. Sorry, profit, not positions. And I think now the sellers have been closed out. Here comes the manipulation. Grüße aus Deutschland, mein Freund. Ah, Heinrich, wie geht's? Alright, I don't think it's going to be a too powerful push to the upside. Maybe maximum to the previous week to fill up the hole which was left by Jay Powell. Well, who knows? Anything is possible.
64.8.
Hold on, someone is ringing. So now, why everyone is coming to my house on NFP day? Ridiculous. So Sasha is asking why gold is going up, because now the dirty move is coming and going to fill up that wick which was left, the imbalance by Jay Powell on the FOMC meeting. But I'm still waiting for sell opportunity. Out of breath.
I wasn't buying since the bottom of the wick.
Buy low and sell.
What do we have? Do you want to see something cool?
Yeah.
You're gonna love this.
It's a new tuxedo. What?
Are you sure?
Started buying diapers.
No. Next week is the baby coming, but for now I'm buying gifts for myself until I have money.
Take advantage. It'll be the last time you'll be spending money before the birth on yourself.
I know.
I went through it 4 times, and finally now I get a break.
Mashallah. No, I did 3 times.
Oops.
You miss when they were younger. Unable to walk, still crawling.
For real, once they can start walking, they just get into everything.
That's it, it's all over. Hair starts starts turning grays.
You can't take your eye off them for a minute.
Are you short on US 30?
So, this is what came in the post.
Oh,
Can't see.
are those real?
That was supposed to come to me.
Why are your stacks framed?
In case of
Yeah,
emergency,
I know.
break glass.
I love that. That's cool.
How awesome is that? I love
That's
it.
awesome. That's awesome.
But that's real money, right? Like you can
Absolutely,
really use
it is real. I'm gonna fill it up with real money. All right,
Hi, Dad.
let's look for sells, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Because the market, you know, if it wanted to go up, it would have gone up already. There was the manipulation. The weekly pivot is still holding. So I entered into a small sell, testing the market again. And I locked in profit from the 100 pip drop. You know, there is always a chance that this wick is going to be filled up. Anything is possible, but, you know, I'm on the sell side. So I'm going to be start with small lots. And if, you know, it hits stop loss, I'm going to looking for sells at a higher place. So, should I give this away to someone on YouTube?
Nah, membership is enough.
That
You
is
don't
so
get a little
cool.
hammer with it, no.
No.
Pretty
Stay
cool.
tuned.
Thomas, fill up the wall with that. Smash the wall.
Yeah. Alright guys, get ready for some sells. I don't know what the level is going to be. I entered into a small sell, just testing. If it comes higher, then I'll be looking for other opportunities to enter. It's not bad. Another €1,000 day on YouTube in 1 week. US 30 sell is going nicely. It's respecting. Who's in a US 30 sell?
I am.
I got stopped out.
I guess you re-entered.
Still from FOMC, holding my position.
That's like 79 or what? 69.
Sorry, S&P 500 was my short actually from 3907. That was a short. A bit lower.
Oh, dirty move is continuing, going to fill up the wick. That's not good. But still didn't hit stop loss. If it comes higher, then I take the loss and start selling from the previous wick, and that is going to push down. If not earlier than power hour today, which is just a few hours before New York Stock Exchange closing, when all the traders at the desk are going to liquidate the positions on NFP from the manipulation, if we have a manipulation.
I just took another sell on US30 now.
But the price move is little slow compared to the last NFP. Right?
Yeah,
last
much
NFP
slower.
more volatile. Maybe because of FOMC.
Alright, so that hit my stop loss, this position. I'm going to be looking for sells at a higher place. Now this imbalance, fortunately I was right, it's going to, well, I was expecting it's going to be filled, but I went against because I started selling on a weekly pivot. It's not a problem because when it gets filled, price is going to melt. Because the data, if you look at it, much better than expected non-farm payroll, meaning the more people entering into the labor force, the labor market, those people will get paid from the company, factory, whatever they work, and that money is going to be spent into economy, and that has inflationary pressure, which the Fed is fighting against for. So right now, fortunately, buy the news and sell the fact, and if not earlier, then during power hour, price is going to melt. Okay, let's wait for the fill. Now the weekly pivot has been invalidated, but if you look on the chart, just let me show you quickly the market structure in high time frame. Now this wick has already been pushed back below 1664. The chances are very high that we're going to see the same effect, and I'm going to be selling at the previous high. I did explain the macroeconomics behind it. If you use the Fibonacci, then you see we have 7860 and the pivot R1 resistance level, so chances are good that we can sell at the previous high. And now next week, on the 10th, we're going to have my favorite data, which is going to be CPI. That is going to be an absolute fantastic easy money day. Stay calm, just observe the market, look for the sells. Good thing on US 30 is still respected very nicely, the weekly pivot. Going to observe my new thingy.
Don't you think it's a good time to sell? It filled 50% of
the imbalance.
Yeah.
Did you enter into a sell?
I entered small one.
I was already in. Alright. It's so freaking cool. In case of emergency, break the glass. I was one with that little bag and the Colombian white, but I think that's a bit too extreme to put on my wall. $10,000.
A send link, or is it like a custom?
No, it's you can buy. I show you. It's called Mon Art.
Sophie, why are you laughing? You'll need that too.
Oh, I don't know about that. He got me confused.
This is what they have. So they have funny things you can put on the wall. I think there's one with gold, obviously the Pablo Escobar style. This is what I purchased. Not the retro, sorry. This one maybe. Anyway, so they had these kind of things. In case of inflation, gold frame, it's cost 40,000, so it's around 100 euros for that what I showed you. But they have other things as well. I think it's pretty cool.
Cocaine or something?
Yes.
Real? I mean.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
It looks cool,
I
but
think Raul would go for that one. Last one he showed.
Senor Raul.
Alban would love that. Send tons to Alban.
Alright, stay calm guys. The drop will come. If not now, during the power hour. Market is not edging too much higher. It's not rushing higher. It's just slowly creeping up, waiting for someone to slap the slap down the market.
I went long on GJ. If you look at the 30-minute time frame, I believe the fundamentals are still pushing the GBP against the Japanese yen bullish, and we had a strong retracement. We'll see what will happen, but I think it's a good risk to reward idea.
Again, the market is left with so much imbalance after Powell's speech. GBP against Japanese yen, I think it should go higher, mainly because if you look at the interest rate differential between the two countries, you can see that GBP 3%, the gilt, the 3-year gilt, the short end of the yield curve, whereas Japan is right at the bottom, it's 0%. So it's a no-brainer that GBP is going to strengthen against the Japanese yen, but for now I'm focusing on US 30 and gold. Oh, Raul on YouTube says, B, leave me alone, not funny.
That was Sophie, not B. Always
yeah, I'm glad I made him confused.
I behaved.
I'm glad I made him confused.
When I'm behaved, he always blames me.
All right.
Is it time to sell? Or
Yeah.
wait?
Yeah. I did enter into a sell. I think it's if it goes higher, it's harder to push down below the trend line. But from here, since here, they can easily flip this hourly candle. Small lot, test the market. If it goes down, if it goes back below the trend line, it's going to break that trend line. It's going to retest it. So I'm keep selling it. If it comes higher, then it's going to be just another opportunity. The higher it comes, the bigger lot I'm going to use. But for now, I'm just observing and testing the market.
Yeah, I'm having 1670 my stop loss.
That's that's a very reasonable stop loss.
Yeah, with the small lots, you can afford it.
Raul, by the way, if listening to the stream, are you buying or selling with stop loss and take profit, please?
He's selling. He wrote that already.
Oh, well, in Discord?
No,
I'm selling, guys.
YouTube.
I'm selling.
Raul.
What happened? Are you okay?
Hey, son. Nee, I'm COVID. I have COVID, guys.
Ah.
So I'm a little bit difficult to talk.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I will be okay.
If you won't be okay, can I have your laptop, please?
Too soon.
But I sold,
sorry.
Thomas. I sold at 58.
Ah, that's good. Are you selling with me? Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Raul Gelmers is on the same side as I am.
Oh, get well soon, Raul.
Thanks, guys.
What's your stop loss, Raul? I know Marwan's stop loss is at 1670, which is very reasonable. What's your stop loss?
A little bit above 60 and a half.
So just above the week, yeah?
16. Oh. And just above the... Wait a second.
Oh man, your voice is... I definitely can hear you have COVID.
Yeah. The monthly pivot.
On 1660?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
A little bit above.
Pivot. Wow. It's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen my new gift? Oh, well, I gifted myself, Raul. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw that. Cool.
Super cool.
Super cool.
No, I'm going to have it here on my desk. Oh no.
DXY is dumping hard.
It will reverse. Trust in the process. You know, one stop loss, it should not affect your profitability, and I highlighted that, you know, don't over risk. Still test the market through the sells. Alright, I'm gonna close down the gold position and just wait for the next selling opportunity, which is going to be higher. So unfortunately, what we were talking about, it becomes a reality. Smaller lot size, wider stop loss, no problem. Free Money says gold is going to fly in the next few weeks. Well, good luck with that, brother. All right, new hourly candle, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, it's going to make one nice push to the upside, and then hopefully going to start melting soon. Jay Powell definitely messed up the market with this imbalance that he created. Ali Pasandinde says that considering that the Fed interest rate ceiling is almost fixed, any economic data other than inflation may be considered a soft landing, to the market will take risks. In my opinion, they didn't fix it, because if you listen to Jay Powell, and this is just a constructive feedback, Ali, I do respect your opinion. Jay Powell actually said that, you know, the FOMC, the Fed dot plot, is now invalid, that they issued in September, because they estimated the appropriate, or deemed appropriate, 4.55% interest rate as a ceiling. But during the FOMC meeting, Jay Powell said that they're going to continue push interest rate as high as necessary, and they don't have any upper ceiling. That's what he said.
Can I ask you something?
I'm married, brother.
God bless you and your wife.
How can I help?
Sir, if I want that you draw the Fibonacci on US 30, because in 1 hour there is a big wick, and I'm confused that from which should I left the wick or include it in Fibonacci. So if I include it in Fibonacci, then the US 30 is not reached at its level. But I have seen twice in your chart, it's already reaching your Fibonacci zone. So can you please tell me from where you have drawn this?
Now it's difficult to draw Fibonacci because we have this massive wick, but I need to look at the chart I draw. And by the way, gold is bumping back to the second sell zone, so be ready on R1 1665. I'm gonna start selling a little bit lower. Can you which chart are you referring to?
US 30 I was asking,
but
right now.
Yeah, it was from the high to the low. We always draw from high to low. And entering another sell on the US 30, because now it has reached an important level. Stop loss is just now a little bit wider, smaller lot size. So, windows, Fibonacci from swing high to swing low. Fortunately, with the recent wick to the upside that Jay Powell created during FOMC, you know, this is quite difficult. We have this massive wick. Ideally, I would try to average it and put it somewhere on the previous stop, somewhere here.
Okay. Thanks. You have remembered my old day window.
US 30 is now breaking down. It's heading to R3, it looks like. Okay, I'm out of the US 30 trade. So 25 minutes and we're going to have the New York Stock Exchange open. So chances are good when investors are going to see this disappointing, well, not disappointing, it's good that more jobs have been created in the US, but they're going to receive it as inflationary, so start getting ready for the sells. Normboy asking what is R1. That is the first resistance level at the pivot points, which is a very powerful tool in trading. You can use it as support and resistance, and it's just like magic. All right. Sold again US 30. And we have 24 minutes until New York Stock Exchange open.
Just took 100 pips on the USD CHF analysis tab. Batches did.
Wow.
Wonderful trade.
Batches did good.
Thank you. Yeah, he done wonderful today. USD chef dropped hard. Just took profit on it.
Yeah, Batches has some really good analysis on Discord. He is like an analysis king. Very
Definitely
nice.
second you on that. I've been following a few of his signals and I just come out in profit.
Oh, on the 1 hour chart, look at gold on the RSI. Beautiful. Beautiful. The higher it gets, the lower it drops. And perfect example on gold that during FOMC it pumped up 200 pips, but then it dropped 600 pips. On US 30, I'm waiting for another sell opportunity, and we have 20 minutes until the New York Stock Exchange open. Now, when traders go into the New York Stock Exchange, or well, they know the data already, but my theory is that if they look at the data from an investor and trader perspective, is really the data that came out today, non-farm payroll 261, way better than expected. I mean, 61k over 200k. Is huge inflationary pressure. It's fuel to the fire because that extra amount of workforce are going to get salary from, you know, companies and the employers, and that money is going to be spent in the economy and circulate all around, creating more inflationary pressure, and that is an extra light, green light, go ahead light for the Fed to decrease, to increase interest rate. Now US 30, we still have a little bit of unbalance to be filled, but it would be quite a big jump from the current price level to fill this up. Do you think, guys, it can manage? Is it gonna pump up at New York stock exchange open and jump that 20 pips or 200 points?
I think it'll push up.
Probably spike up and then drop.
Knowing what US30 does, I'm sure it will do that.
The DXY 5.S2 is broken, and then he come to S3 111.319, and USDGF and the daily pivot support one is about 0.99800. The small space.
On yeah, absolutely.
I think it's gonna pull back at that pivot.
Normboy says on YouTube that he thinks that gold is going to reach 1800. Do you think gold has the possibility to reach 1800? And what is the time frame, Norm? Is it like a week, a month, a year?
Way we could reach 1800s is if we have a new war or if the Fed pivots. I don't see any other way reaching 1800s.
I do agree with the war. That would be the biggest catalyst which the market could not take as, you know, good news, so hence gold would fly. And currently we have options for a new war to break out between Iran and Saudi Arabia, or what was the other one? North Korea, Taiwan. And if the war escalates, if the invasion escalates in Ukraine. But some people on YouTube say that gold is going to go only to 60.
Thomas?
Yes? Hello? So Adam Spice is asking which pivot I use. I use the what is it called? So if you type in pivot, pivot point standard, and my settings are fairly basic. I use the Fibonacci on the weekly or the daily time frame. I observe both. I know Raul is checking both of them, and only one pivot's back, labels position on the right, and I color the pivot as red.
Thomas, I watched the Heresy Finance that have news that record high gold buying from mystery central bank. Is it affect the market or not? Or what is your opinion about this?
What was the news?
The record high gold buying from mystery central bank, 400 ton.
Yet, month to date, gold has dropped 6% on the market, and I saw the news that central banks buying gold. Yeah, of course it has an effect on the market, but you have to compare it to the overall size of the gold market, and you know, sometimes the central bank orders are not actually close to public, because it's not public information.
Okay, so it won't really affect the bullish or bearish of the gold, right?
Who knows? Anything is possible, brother.
Okay.
You know, it's what I find strange always since I started trading is when the economy is doing extremely badly, as you know, something happens, then stock market tends to fly, and when the economy is doing well, stock markets tend to do well, and sometimes a stock market, you know, before the recession, When there's just signs of recession, stock market is going down because everyone is afraid. But when the recession hits the economy, the stock market starts to fly. So it's really contradicting. It doesn't reflect on the real economy at all.
Okay, thank you.
All right, gold has entered into the sell zone, ladies and gentlemen. We have 15 minutes until New York Stock Exchange open. Ali Mogadan raised a good point with 4.5% yield. There is no reason to buy gold, and one of the reasons for this, or the explanation, is because gold doesn't bear any interest. So there's the opportunity cost for investors to hold gold is extremely expensive because they miss out the 4.5% return on the bond market, on the money market, actually, in the short term money.
Yeah, especially in the long term, if we see further rate increases, which I believe we will.
Yeah.
That will actually mean that even the stock market will become less desirable because you have risk-free rate in the bond market, right? US bond market. So
yeah, on the US.
This will put even further bearish pressure on the stock market. That's why I believe this situation is most similar to the 1970s and 1980s.
And do you know what was similar between today's situation and the 1980s? You know, each thing I'm going to say individually can break markets, can crash markets. So back in the 80s, we had the Yom Kippur War between Israel and, well, not Israel, but Middle East and against the developed countries. Well, I can't remember which countries exactly, but I know there was an oil embargo. So there was a fuel shortage. There was, you know, hyperinflation in some countries, and you know, high inflation in every country in the world, mainly because of the fuel shortage. Interest rate during the time of Paul Volcker was 20%, and what else? There was another war, I think. So each of these can cause a market crash, but when they align together, it's a big shizzle. And 50 years ago, or 40 years ago, this is the first time when we have all of these factors aligning together.
And when I studied the history of monetary policy, this was maybe one thing that was different in 1970s that might be or might not be similar today. Might even be, well, it depends on the natural unemployment rate. But only difference I see is the predecessor of the Paul Volcker was, if I remember correctly, was Arthur Burns, and he was the Fed chair at the time of Ronald Reagan. And what happened in that time was he was very well immersed with Ronald Reagan, meaning they decided together what kind of a monetary policy should they do, which is, as you know, not something anybody should do. The best example is Turkey. So that's one of the reasons also why the inflation in USA got pretty big in 1970s. But all other factors are pretty much the same, and I believe, yeah, it's really a big risk for the economy. If you look at it from cost push inflation, from oil embargoes and high oil prices, up to the rising yields, interest rates.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it will also give us long-term good buying opportunities for stocks.
Absolutely. When the economy starts crashing and when the yield curve starts going from negative, so they're re-inverting, when the recession is here, the next step the Fed is going to do, and every central bank, is to start reducing the interest rate to put some pressure off the economy. And when that happens, this is why stocks starts to go up when the economy goes into or it is in a recession already.
That's when Buffett says, buy when there is blood on the streets.
Right, we have 10 minutes until New York Stock Exchange open. Let's see if they're going to flip this wick fill. So For Unknown says that he's betting his house that price will reverse from 69 to 75. I like 69. Don't need to bet your house. You know, today is NFP, loads of manipulation, only small lots, wider stop loss, risk management. We had, you know, 3 good days this week. It's not the day when, you know, we're going to rack up, you know, 100 lot sizes or go for the Lamborghini. Easy day. And don't need to spam the chat. We have 9 minutes, actually 8 minutes and 40 seconds until NYSE open. So look for sells, wait for sells.
Are you in sell right now, or you are still waiting?
No, I closed out twice. Oop. Closed out. So now I'm going to look for sell when NYSE opens. Message is asking, is it possible your bias is just completely wrong? Yeah, anything is possible, mate. You know, the important is if you have a bias at all, because many people have no idea what they're doing. They're just going with the herd. I have a plan. I'm waiting for a sell and entering into a sell just now. Placing the stop loss above the previous wick. Because we have 7 minutes until New York Stock Exchange open. That's how it looks. Buy the news and sell effect. I did ignore this. I'm going to stop that twice today. And let's see how the heavyweights on the stock market is going about with the data that came out today. Which you can see that non-farm payrolls is better than expected. And let me show you a chart and watch very closely. Now we've been following, or I've been following NFP data for, you know, quite a few years, and I made a chart, a summary chart about you know, the last few years, about how market has reacted to the NFP data. So it's quite extensive. Also marks some of the important monetary policy changes. For example, in Fed, in August switched to hawkish. In July they stopped the forward guidance. November J Powell leveled up to super hawk. That was just this week on the FOMC meeting. And every single time we had a better than expected reading in the past few months, because we cannot compare it to a year ago because it was a completely different level playing field. Every single time, yes, we had a bit of push, that was the market manipulation, but in the long run it went down, and hence I start selling or waiting for sell opportunities on gold and US 30.
Do you have that kind of chart on US 30, Damas, in the correlation with NFP?
No, I only done it for gold. We can do one for US 30 as well. It's not a problem. Anyone can do this. You just need to go back and analyze the data. Brim TV Network says, hi Tomasz, is the discussion internationally of one world currency? I think this could bring an end to forex trading. Anything is possible. That would be, you know, it require, I think, quite a few decades to do that. And, you know, to put one single currency, then it would need for weaker countries, less developed countries, to raise prices to be on the same playing field as, for example, Sweden or UK or the US, because prices have to match if they want the same currency. So there are different flaws to this theory. And we have 4 minutes, 20 seconds until New York Stock Exchange open. I'm gonna get some water. Alright, 3 minutes and the sell can begin. Ramji says IMF could create one currency, universal currency, back to all others. Yes, but again, it would require every single country to have the same prices all over the place. And imagine like Vietnam, I think it's a bit cheaper country than the US. We have 2 minutes until New York Stock Exchange open.
Thomas, do you think that there'll be like a stop punt right at open and then a push down? Or does anybody think that?
Personally, I'm waiting to see the 1666, 68 area to be reached, and then a sudden drop down, like cleaning it up a bit, and then boom.
One minute and 30 seconds until the New York Stock Exchange is officially opening its market. Gold has reached an important resistance level at the previous high, which was generated during the FOMC speech by Jay Powell. But as soon as it reached this price level, 1669, again the famous 69, the market was immediately pushed down hundreds of pips. So if you look at the data, it's quite inflationary, and I think investors and other professionals, when they come to the stock market, is going to start falling. Gold is going to follow. Long story short, the data, the more people entering into an economy, into the job market or labor market, the more money they're going to earn. That money is going to be spent. It adds more inflation to the market. So, and the Fed is fighting against inflation. Hence, we have all the yields, decades high or decade high, almost 5% in the US, and it's going to go higher, as announced by Jay Powell this week during the FOMC meeting. So we have 15 seconds. I entered into a sell on US 30. Gold. And I'm going to wait for a push for US 30 at open, and then when it happens I'm going to sell. And we have the stock exchange open. Wait. Gold is looking good for sell. Come a little bit higher, retest it. Now this is quite a optimistic drop, but at least to the weekly pivot and to the daily pivot, I'm pretty sure it would, right? Hoping it's going to reverse. New York Stock Exchange, I think, is going to do the same. Let's see. Let's wait with US 30. Am I going to come and fill up this gap, this imbalance? Right, I think it's time to sell US 30 as well. So have a more conservative approach. I think it's going to be pushed back below the trend line soon, because we have a minute now. It's been away from the open. Selling US 30 and gold. Again.
You think if US...
Alright, US 30 did start to show some weakness, as well as gold following, so I think it's now time that the market is pushing back to the general, to the original trend. If you look at the data, which was I mentioned before on NFP and unemployment, now unemployment showing that the labor market is loosening up a little bit, so it's increased, which is worse than expected data, but the non-farm payrolls, which accounts for 80% of the labor force in the US, have increased, which is inflationary for the US, and the central bank is currently trying to reduce inflation by increasing interest rate. Now, the more people entering the labor market, the higher chances that next week we're going to have more inflation, which is an invitation for the Fed to slap down inflation by increasing even further the interest rate. And this is the speculation behind my short analysis today. It's important you always have a plan. Never go into war without a clear plan in your head. Who's having dinner?
Don, what's for dinner?
Smakelijk.
Enjoy your meal, brother.
Thank you. It's cordon bleu.
Oh, I love it. Like chicken Kiev.
Yeah, it's like chicken breast stuffed with cheese.
Cheese. I like when it's cheese and ham, and with some spring onions. That is tasty. Or cut some fresh onions.
There's
on
another
top.
one I like. Comes with spinach as well. It's nice.
Heinz Smith says also don't go into war with a butter knife. Yeah, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
I believe there is another dirty move. It's just like hiding now.
I mean, recently Thursday and Friday is full of dirty moves, and we have, which was the shit day before, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday becoming the cash cows for us.
Patience. Patience.
Hey, Brandon. It looks like some market volatility is coming. Let's see. Do we have any other data today? Oh, just Rosengren is going to speak. Not much. Oliver Dubois is asking. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you while you were starting.
You never disturb me.
I took SPX 500 when you took US 30. So on the charts, I basically look where you're looking to take profit on US 30 and match it up with the SPX 500. Would that be correct?
Yeah, but you know, you take profit whenever you're happy.
Yeah, of course.
So you can use the previous low if you want to take profit. It's always a good start, the previous low. Okay. If you're happy with the money, then, you know, make the money, take the money. That's what I say. That's what it's always important. All right?
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Yep.
It's really fighting now, the bulls and the bears on the market. Let's see if New York is going to flip the market. Oh, Olivier, yes. Try to read Reminiscences of a Stock Operator by Edwin Lefebvre. It's a very good book. Start with this.
Sir, is these books
Freakonomics is the second one. In what?
Is this available in translated language of our local, like
I don't know. I will check the writer. I emailed the author and I ask if it's available. The next one is Freakonomics. It's a fantastic book, definitely.
How can we buy it?
Wow, interesting questions today. How can you buy the book?
There's this website called Amazon. You may not have heard of it, but they've got loads of books available for sale. All you have to do is go on, search it up in your language, and you'll find if it's available or not. I'd say that's quite straightforward.
Or you can get
have a look. Sorry, I'm laughing. Sorry if my sarcasm is coming through too strong.
There is a website for those of you who may don't have money for books or don't like to read books, called Z Library. You get 3 to 5 free downloads, and I'm just going to hide my browsing history because it's filthy as fuck. It's still not loading.
We all know that already, Thomas. No need to hide it.
I know, but you know, I wanted to show you that free library, which
that site is down since a few weeks, Thomas.
Oh really? Z Library?
Yes.
Oh, that was a
month.
Fuck, because that was a good site because it had the free PDFs. True. My favorite is 23 things they don't tell you about capitalism. If you want to start learning economics, start with this book. It's a life-changing. It's going to show you why was the washing machine is a bigger invention than the internet. It's mind-blowing. And of course, it's Ha-Yung Chang was the author of the book. He is an economist at Cambridge or Oxford, so some of that, secondary schools, secondary universities. Is very smart. There are some flaws with the book, but the thinking, it's just absolutely wonderful. It forces you to think about, and it uses econometrics and macroeconomics. Alexander Kevin asking, how do you get that pip counter? I installed it, and I have a YouTube video on my channel. Watch it, because I explain how to install the pip counter.
I think it's okay to steal from someone who stole something, so I'm gonna take that and add it.
Alright, it looks like that gold and US 30 or US stocks found the ceiling. Now just our time to sharpen the knife.
Thomas, it's Meta D. Pip counter again. Say it, please.
Pip counter.
Okay. It's related to MetaTrader?
No, it was developed by Luca, some guy called Luca.
So some kind of plugin.
Yeah, it just basically, if you look at my MetaTrade, I can't show you that thing, but all right, so Vamshidar. You just have to change the script in one of the indicators, and that's how I installed it. Do you think it's now going to reverse? It looks like it's like a falling pair from a 3. I'm going to move my stop loss a little bit lower on US 30.
I think it's going to reverse.
Thomas, what's the name of the second book again? I'm trying to type it on YouTube.
50 Shades of
Someone's
Grey.
asking. Oof.
I believe Zedler is working. They've just changed the URL. I've just posted on Zoom chat.
23 things they don't tell you about economics. Reminiscences, or I can't pronounce that word of a stock trader. Reminiscence.
Yeah, so 23
how do you say it? Reminiscences.
Isn't it 23 things they don't teach you about capitalism?
Yes, 23 things.
You said economics, so I was confused.
And free economics is the other one. And I just got a new book, which I haven't had a chance to fully read. This is called The Almighty Dollar. It explains the history, how the dollar, following the incredible journey of a single dollar to see how the global economy really works. So it tells you how the dollar dominates the world, and also how the dollar is circulating in the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, US 30, it's time. The market has started dropping. Who's in a sell?
My gosh, SPX 500 is melting.
I am in a big sell today.
2 hours. 2 hours we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I hit my stop loss already, but right now it's very, very good.
Very, very good. But because we use tight stop loss, then it's no problem, because the risk reward ratio, if you have 4 stop loss hits but 1 win, that's going to outweigh and cover everything and even bring more. So portioning is important. Don't risk everything on one trade.
Yeah, when I was not in your class, I hold the stop loss in such type of a day. I dragging, and they below such time. And right now, today, I have closed stop loss when your hits my head, but I hold. I didn't put any further entry. When you give me a signal, then I'm in. So I'm feeling from the last 2-3 days very comfortable.
If you're comfortable, I'm comfortable. But Aman, very important that you do your own analysis first and then observe mine. And try to come up with your analysis before entering into blindly into anyone's trades, even including myself. Okay?
Yes, you are right, sir. I am trying my best as you have the morning briefing from till that time to right now. I was searching because I am not familiar with the English, so I couldn't understand easily things. So I translate.
What language do you speak, brother?
We speak Pashto, Urdu, and Punjabi as well.
Tess can help you.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम my brother, कैसे हो? ठीक हो?
वालेकुम सलाम जी, मैं ठीक ठाक। आप कैसे हैं? खैरियत से?
मैं ठीक ठाक हूँ। किधर से बोल रहे हो?
मैं पाकिस्तान से हूँ, सवात से, और सर का बहुत ज़्यादा मशहूर हूँ।
Starting to unfold.
Okay, मुझे प्राइवेट मैसेज करना कभी भी कोई प्रॉब्लम पड़े मैं समझा दूंगा, no problem.
Did Tess say just send him a dick pic in private message?
Yeah, I said any problems, you don't understand anything, send me a private message.
Okay, I thought you were offering some, you know, nude pics.
Oh, that's fake. I'm not a scammer, come on.
Bromance led to DM.
All good. I'm just gonna quickly say one more thing, yeah? Anybody else understands? किसी को भी कोई problem पड़े, message me, I'll explain everything to you.
Yeah, Tess has a lot of services.
Fame dari Tamas brate odakade i Hrvatska. Ivan, can you answer that? Zdravo kolega. Koliko godo?
I love how we've got such an international community, everybody helping each other. Wonderful.
Mate, it's, you know, it's, I don't care where you guys from. We all, if you join this stream and my community, we all from Pipland and everyone is golden.
We're one family, that's it. You're right.
Yes, exactly. That's
Tamas, are you Horvat or Bosniak? Mađarsko.
Engem kérdeztél?
Nem, a YouTube-on kérdezik, hogy horvát vagyok, vagy bosnyák.
Sorry, what was the question for?
The question was from Fame Diri, asking, Tamas, brate, odakade si Hrvatska? Odakade si
Ask
Hrvatska?
you, where are you from?
Mađarsko.
Is that in Spanish?
Sí, ¿cómo estás, señor? ¿Dónde está la discoteca?
Por favor.
2 cervezas, por favor.
You learned this before you got married, right?
Yeah.
No, that works.
Continuate así, por favor.
Beer, party, all you know, Thomas.
Yeah. I doesn't even speak Greek.
You also started speaking Arabic, right?
Yalla yalla, Habibi. Inshallah. Triple your money with the Alpha FX. So double your money.
Yeah,
triple your money on Fridays.
Okay, I just
Trust me,
double.
brother. Trust me, brother. Look at
That's
look at US 30, 1,000 pips, 10,000 points, and keep going dropping.
Forget gold. SPX just gave me double. Hit my doubles.
Yeah, me as well. S&P 500. I'm shorting it. I'm in a nice profit for now.
Yep.
What
Let's
the
go,
fish happening on S&P? What's happening on Nasdaq as well? I think Nasdaq must have been full more. Yes, Nasdaq is melting.
I just don't know where is the bottom for S&P, but I might be targeting the lower end somewhere. I don't know. Maybe
I'm looking at
37.
yesterday's low first TP probably 3715.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same too.
So this you asked about where to join the community. I just posted the link to YouTube. There's free membership left. Take it, it's your discount, and join the community. It's a wonderful place to be.
Everybody on YouTube, you don't know what you're missing, and if you've been messing up on trading, this is the place to be.
You can mess up even further.
I have spent a lot
And
of...
I just want to add that I joined the community like 2 days ago, and I already made up my joining fee in 2 days. So kudos.
Exactly. And sir,
Inshallah.
I have purchased so many paid groups and Telegram. They were sending signal, but first time I am feeling really relaxed, and that I feel that I have invested a real place. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy with your trading style and strategies.
Shukran, brother, shukran. Thank you for the kind words. And if you're relaxed, I'm relaxed as well. If you want, that can make you more relaxed.
I'm married as well, yeah, 4 kids.
Well, just because you're on a diet doesn't mean you can't have a look on the dessert menu.
It's been a long time since you said that.
I know, and it's my favorite joke. My wife is looking very angry. I think she started to learn English, so she understands me now. Oh shit. I'm afraid if you don't hear anything about me in a few hours, just call the police, because she is definitely angry.
And time to buy gifts.
And the hormones must be also helping.
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
mean, next week Sunday, it's the final date. If the baby doesn't come, we're going to start the procedure, or I don't know what they do. And look at US 30, ladies and gentlemen. On the screen you can see 1,116 pips, 10,000 points drop. Right, we had a few stop loss hits, but lesson learned again. I talked about this morning started with possible wick fill. The market looked like it's going to go up, then it went up, and I still entered into sells, which, you know, doesn't matter how long you've been trading on the markets, you still make mistakes. And today I made that mistake, but the mistake has been rectified and we're in profit. Are you in profit?
Not yet.
On my way to triple, already doubled.
Triple your money? Oh my god.
Nah, I just got stop out of gold right now.
Guys, I'm gonna call it today because we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. It's Friday. I want to have a beer. Probably the last weekends I can ever enjoy getting, you know, beers with the friends. It's been a wonderful week, 3 winning days. Next week is CPI data, so please wait for that. We're going to have some really good returns. For now, I wish you a relaxing weekend, guys, and see you Monday morning for the morning briefing. Okay?
Thank you so much, Thomas.
Have a nice weekend, all.
Thanks, Thomas.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
See ya, man. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
And people of YouTube, thank you so much. 50% discount if you would like to join the community and do live trading every single day. My baby is about to born. I'm gonna stop the streams or reduce them and focus more on the community because it's a closed community. We're doing every single morning. We do live trading and morning analysis. If you would like to do the same kind of macroeconomic approach to translate fundamentals and translate it into actual viable trading strategies, then you have the option to join the community for 50% discount. It's not my discount, it's yours. So you have to take it, or you take it. Make sure that you take advantage of the 50% discount. I will close down the joining. There's only 3 memberships available. When it's gone, I will be closing it down because I will be focusing on the community and my family. Hope you understand. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Hit the like button. That gives me a feedback that I'm doing something well. And see you next week, guys. Have a relaxing weekend. This is the Alpha FX.